Well, hello and welcome to the Corona Astro Alchemy community. So good to have you, and I hope this finds you well. The energies have been pretty tough. I'm sure we're all aware, but but this is all for our highest good, and I'm going to guide you through some Chinese astrology and sidereal astrology today. So, welcome again to those of you who have been here before. To those of you who are new, I do sidereal astrology, not Western astrology. So just know that if I'm saying things and you're like, wait, Pluto's in Capricorn? What? And I thought it was in Aquarius. Well, in sidereal, we have different placements. So this is with the alignment of the constellations as they are in the sky, where the planets are in the constellations. So anyway, and I really believe that honestly, when you look at both systems, that they can be pretty accurate. Sometimes I will notice more accuracy in certain things, but I think that both Western and Sidereal have a great way of describing things in their own unique way, a different way, but of kind of the similar events that are happening in the world. So it's pretty fascinating. So let's just talk a little bit about the June energies of the Chinese astrology to begin with. So it's a water horse month, a young water horse month, and that actually began on the 4th of June, and will go until July 5th. So we're going to be in this energy for 2 more weeks, and basically, yeah, the horse is a very intuitive creature, and young water is all about using its intuition and freedom. And so, this is something that we're going to want to really utilize this month. And in the Chinese astrology perspective, this water energy and this horse energy is very pretty compatible with the year energy. So it's bringing some really good things in besides using our intuition and creating more wisdom. Really, any kind of learning is going to be wonderful. And the horse loves its freedom. It is kind of more carefree. It's not as like planning and detail oriented as the snake, but well, I don't know that the snake's super detail oriented, but it likes to plan. But um, yeah, so I think as long as we aren't trying to, restrict ourselves too much or like have too many fine details, then this month will be a little bit easier. And also, the horse just in general moves very quickly. It's a very fast moving animal. And so I think as we are making decisions, it's important for us not to go too quickly and to really, think before we act. And make sure that we are sure that, our yes is a yes. We can always say, hey, it's always good to practice, like, let me look at my calendar, let me see for sure, and let me get back to you. We don't need to be a yes person. And so anyway, there are a lot of aspects in the Chinese sidereal astrology that I want to share with you, and I'm going to share my screen too. So let's see. Give me just a moment here as I do that. See if I've got the right one up. I also have the new moon one up. Okay. All right. So this is a new format for me. So it looks like you're only going to see the screen and not my face, and that's okay. But yeah, so we do have the sun in Gemini, and that just went in. And again, this is going to be different from what most people think. So we've only had the sun in Gemini since the 15th of June. And this will go until, I think it's the 15th of July. So yeah, now that the sun is in Gemini, we're really going to be feeling a lot more sociable. Gemini, likes to be out, likes to be very talkative. It's very communicative. If you're a writer, you may enjoy writing more. And also, those things are going to be enhanced with Jupiter being here. So we can really grow our ability to communicate better. I actually just did a blog on this today that I just feel very strongly about. So basically that, we need to all kind of get back to getting, into more conscious communication. But when I say that, what I mean is really like being mindful of how we're using technology in communication, because that's where I see us all struggling. And so this is, I think, a really beautiful thing that we have, not only the sun in Gemini, but also, let's see, I'm going to share my screen again, but we also have Mercury now in Gemini as well. And then with Jupiter, like I said, conjunct the sun, it's just increasing that ability to communicate. And so that's really a wonderful thing. Okay. I am still learning this new. I wanted to get away from Zoom. I'm not a fan of supporting organizations that I don't care for. And so, yeah, so I am on a new platform. Okay. So as I said, we also have Gemini and Mercury now. So we're going to be thinking more quickly. We're going to be talking more quickly. Again, with that horse energy, we're just going to need to really try to slow down, because there's just a lot of energy that's going to have us being a little bit too quick moving, with Mars in Leo as well. I mean, Mars loves to be in Leo, but with this, all this Mercury and the sun in Gemini as well, with these three planets, these closer planets, we're going to be just, really quick and moving fast and thinking fast, but also like we could be a little bit maybe reactionary. And when I'm going to talk more about Mars here in a little bit, but so I'll just stick with this. But yeah, so we will just really want to be very careful with not jumping ahead too much. So in our life, in all areas. So something to be aware of. It's also, I love the curiosity of Gemini. And so that is going to be something that we can really tap into a lot. Again, that childlike wonder can really be enhanced with Jupiter here. That can bring us luck. So really, asking more questions, asking the big whys, asking and communicating with our loved ones and our partner, if we have them, or our best friends, like, get just learning, like, why did you, not do this, or why did you do this? Or, if there is something that we want to really communicate about to, really solve some problems. This is a great week to do that. Even though, we do have some tough aspects, before Mercury is going to be going into Cancer on the 22nd of June. So we do have a few more days to really lean into this, especially because once Mercury goes into Cancer, Mercury is just more debilitated there. It's more slower in its movement. It wants to work on healing with our thoughts. And so we're going to be thinking about like how to say things and being more careful to those. So that could be also a good thing, but we may be also struggling with a little bit of that assertiveness and speaking up and actually having the conversation. So some things to be aware of, because like I said, I am just really thinking that thinking and feeling that we need to get back to just really making sure that we're like answering people's texts, like acknowledging when somebody texts us back. I mean, there's just so many things that nowadays with or just picking up the phone and making a phone call to somebody, right? So that you can make sure that you're not having some misunderstanding, and never talking about anything important over text, because that's definitely not going to solve anything and could create more suffering and more frustration for anybody involved. So and my Mercury is actually in Cancer. So I feel like sometimes I get very annoyed because I just don't speak as quickly as I would like to sometimes. And so that's okay. But anyway, I'm being more careful and deliberate with my thoughts as well. So that is a good thing, because I have 2 horses in my chart too. So I appreciate that I have something to also, get me a little more grounded, I guess, too. All right. So so let's talk about not only, so we've got all this stuff going on here in Gemini, right? And then the difficulties of this month are that we have this square to Uranus and Saturn. And so this is really a very difficult tension point. And these are the three big old huge planets, and they're kind of, when they're having a square off, this is kind of this battle. And also when Jupiter and Saturn are square, there's always usually money involved, because this has to do with the ninth house as well. This can be to do with like daily routines and things. So I really believe, with also Uranus being over in the ninth house square to Mars, that there could be something that's going to change within the money system here very soon. So, I mean, we've kind of been seeing the writings on the wall for this for a while, but yeah, this the ninth house has to do with these day-to-day activities that we all do, and so something is going to could be a disruptive thing, a force. Uranus is about shocks and surprises. It's square to Mars, so there could definitely be some volatility here. And yeah, so just worldwide, of course, as we all are aware, there's been a little bit of a fear of like a World War III, which I personally do not fear, and I hope that we can all get out of that fear. Yes, there are tension aspects, and that, and I'm showing you what the difficulties are here so that we understand. But I really believe that we've got this, and that we're on a higher timeline. So I'm going to say more about that, but I want to share really quickly that one of the tough aspects of this too is that Saturn and Neptune are conjunct, and when Saturn is conjunct anything, it really kind of debilitates that other planet. And Neptune is all about that compassion and that spiritual oneness and loving, and so some people maybe in the world having a little bit more difficulty having compassion for others and tapping into their spiritual powers and abilities. So hopefully that's not happening for us personally, but collectively that is something that's a little bit of a struggle at this time, and might be what we're seeing with some of the world leaders, at least, that are pulling some of the strings, right? And then we've also have Venus in Aries. Venus does not like to be in Aries. So this is a tougher aspect for this planet of love and beauty. So this may not be the best time to be out on the dating scene, and or starting a new relationship. It can be if you are to meet somebody when Venus is in Aries, which it has been since the beginning of the month, you may find yourself, just really quickly moving into this relationship, and things just moving really fast because it is in Aries. There could be even some aggression. There could be even some, who knows, maybe, with this aspect, it could even mean that the person, or you both might be kind of almost enjoying like play fighting or something, but yeah, I would say if you are dating to wait until the end of the month, because on June 29th, Venus goes into its home sign of Taurus, which will be very lovely. And we did just have, through the end of May, we had Venus in Pisces, and so it was exalted there. So we've had some good energy. So, I mean, you can have some fun and play around, but because again, Aries just moves so quickly, it's kind of might not be the most, long-lasting relationship, but, maybe it's exciting, and there could be some also, who knows, great sex or something, but might not be super long-lasting as Venus is debilitated here. So anyway, let's see what else. So we have also been, we talked about Mercury, talked about Venus. Okay, so let's go back to Mars. We talked a little bit about this, but Mars and Leo, Mars is really happy to finally be in Leo. So it definitely, this is a great thing. It went into, I have not actually had a chance to tell you about this because I didn't get my last video up because, all these squares have been really affecting my body, and my workload just got a little crazy. So anyway, I'm happy to be back. So Mars in Leo, it's very happy here. So it likes to be in another fire sign in Leo. Again, we can have to watch out for maybe some reactionary behavior, because the lower octave of Leo is kind of like being a spoiled brat or spoiled king or queen, princess, prince type, right? So that is just something, with this Mars energy that we have to be aware of, and that we might, be seeing, or probably have been seeing some of with leadership, right? So it's kind of funny thinking about that. So we've got some of that going on, and then but yeah, so Mars again is really helping us to actually move into doing some of those things that maybe we were having a hard time knowing if we wanted to do before. And so like for instance, I was going to lead a cleanse this spring, and it just didn't happen because Mars was in Cancer and nobody wanted to do anything in Cancer. They're just, they didn't have the energy, the get up and go to do it. And as soon as Mars went into Leo, some people started reaching out and being like, I think I want to do this cleanse. So if anybody wants a parasite cleanse to be in a group, let me know. I'm probably forming that in a week or so. But yeah, so if you're wanting to really make some changes in your health, like starting up a little bit more exercise or something like that, this would be a really great time to do that. So yeah, I think that's going to be wonderful. And let's all tap into this energy while Mars is in Leo. It will be here through almost the end of July, through the 27th of July. So we've got 2 months here. So I am very excited about this. I think I did get a chance to talk about it last time, but we had the North and South nodes switch positions in May in the sidereal system. So we now have the North node in Aquarius and South node in Leo. And so collectively, we are going towards a time when we're really more community focused. That's what Aquarius is. And we need to get away from just thinking of more of ourselves, which Leo can be, very independent. And so that's just going to be important again, to just be thinking about like what is best for the collective. Looking at our own, we can still look at like our own unique geniuses. Like we're still individuals. Like the beautiful part about Aquarius is it's all about, our unique individuality and how that's important, and our unique geniuses. And so let's tap into those, right? And then, yeah, so we just want to make sure we're not falling into any of the negative old patterns of South Node in Leo, where again, we're having reactionary behaviors, acting like that spoiled king or queen brat. Yeah, any of those, like megalomania, any of those kind of behaviors. And yeah, I mean, the lower octave of the North node is also, that we don't want to go towards, is also kind of that, it's like the criminal behavior. It's like kind of just, again, it's out for its own. It's all, technology and not thinking about, again, what's good for the collective. So, I feel like we're at a little bit of a choice point here collectively, but again, I really feel that I see and know that we are all doing the work. I see it all the time around us in my community. I'm sure wherever you are that you're experiencing this too. I feel that very strongly that, we're doing the work, and it's this inner work that is so important, that is creating the change within us, and that then is reflected in change and is the change in the world. And so I think it's easy to think that that there is no control, but the less time that you spend, on media and in these newsrooms and in these areas where, you could be giving your authority away basically by being told what to do, or told what to think, rather. It's usually more the how to think and how to feel, right? When we watch and hear these things, we can get very emotional. A lot of people, of course, go into fear. And that's exactly what the controllers want, is they want us in fear. They want us to be out of our inner authority. And so this is just a hugely important time, as always, I mean, this is that time in the world. Like, I'm going to be saying this next year. I've been saying this for years. Like, we need to just continue to recognize that we are sovereign beings and that we are powerful, that we are creative, and that, we get to create the world that we want to see. And yeah, I'm not saying that we aren't still going to have to like see some, difficult things in the world. Of course, there are some things that are out of our control. But I do believe that there have been many negative timelines that have been avoided. As an astrologer, I see very negative things in the astrology all the time. And there's been quite a few times when I've been like, oh my gosh, like this really doesn't look good. And I don't want to deliver that scariness to you all, but I hope that I'm pretty sure I haven't, but at the same time, I've just recognized, like, from seeing that so many times, that it's like, wow, look at how many times we've been through this, and that we have chosen as people to do the work, and it is the inner work. And so keep doing all the good things that you are doing to make this world a better place. And let me know how you're doing. Yeah, I really believe we are going through an ascension process. And there's been a lot of illness and body pains and aches and fatigue going around. So if you've been struggling, I feel you, sending my love to you. Like I said, I was dealing with that myself last week. And so, here I am, a little later than I'd wanted to be, but I'm grateful to be with you. And yeah, so grateful. Please make sure you like this video. Also, please subscribe if you're new. And of course, leave me a comment. Let me know what you've been noticing with the energies, how this lands for you. And as always, I will hope to be here real soon. I'm going to talk about more of the new moon energies, hopefully this week, if I get a chance to come back, or I'll be here shortly after that. So, all right, take good care and have a beautiful day. And also remember to get out and do your earthing, because that is key. We need to be in nature. We need to get our feet and hands in the earth so that we can feel grounded and secure, and know that we are supported, and know that you are loved. All right, take good care. We'll talk soon.